Hey everybody, good morning. Sorry, I put myself on mute by accident. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another live session. It is Tuesday, October 14th. All right, let's see what we got going on for today. So, I won't be on live stream too long today. I'm going to try to get in and get out. Tomorrow, I will be having a full session. I still will go ahead and trade live, but I'm going to try to go ahead and end my day early. A few things to highlight today is that I do have some swing positions in something I don't want to do on this account. I want to mainly day trade it, but when you see opportunities to take, you have to go ahead and take those opportunities. So today, previously on Friday, we had a market sell off. If you guys see my screen here on Baba, we had this long sell off, and it wasn't just Baba, it was the entire market due to Trump's tweets. So with that, I took advantage of this play. I got in at around 165 put. You guys can see my orders to right here, and then we just had a strong sell off all the way down. So yesterday we had a gap up due to Trump's comments that everything with China will be fine. And then the market went ahead and gapped up, but I think the market still feels a little bit uneasy and unsure when it comes to Trump and trade and stuff like that. This is not to be political. This is just news, right? We just trade the news. So with all of that, we gapped up due to him, and then now today we go ahead and sell back off. So I got this swing in play. My goal is to take it's Baba down to 153. So I do have some buying power to trade a little bit today, but I really just want to go ahead and make some money on this one and get out of this and get back to my regular day trading strategies. But once again, if you guys do see promising opportunity when it comes to swing trades, you got to take those trades regardless. So let's go ahead and let's get the party started. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and mark up Baba for sure because this is something that will be on my list today. Baba is one of the gap down. Is on the gap down list in terms of scanners. Is already trading at 1 million shares. So we're gonna go ahead and put some levels on this. So Baba, we have yesterday's low at 165.03. Let's go ahead and mark that 165.03. Yesterday's high on Baba was 168.79. So let's put a level at 168.79. Okay, I got that level right there. And you can see how we struggled yesterday to break. Now, this level right here, right, this purple level, this was a key to level that I found. And this level was founded in the pre-market of last week. So the fact that we're below this level gives me, great indication that we can still go lower, and you can see how, we still have so much activity under this purple line. You can see how we struggled to fully break this line to yesterday, and we struggled to even get to 170, and then the after hours, we got to 170, but then we just dropped dramatically down all the way to 158. Now, I'm not quite sure if Baba's going to want to go ahead and continue to drop, but, that's the point of mapping out the pre-market. So let's see if we do have an edge there. I will also go ahead and look at the order book as well. So give me 1 second. All right. Yeah, there's a few other stocks I want to watch too. And I'm trying to remember that I should go ahead and write this down. So let me go ahead and get my notebook so I don't forget what exactly I want to look at, and not just rely on my scanners. So I already got my notebook here. We got a pen, and this is something that I will go ahead and recommend for everyone to do, either to write things down or use things digitally. So let's see. We got today's list that I will be to looking up is Baba, Tesla. There was another one that I saw here. I'm gonna get back to mapping out onto Baba, guys. Baba, Tesla. I'm gonna look at AVGO, which is Broadcom. There was something else I wanted to check out too. Let's see. I'm looking at my scanners, guys. Broadcom. I got that one written. All right, I'm gonna put MU on my list as well. I don't really like to trade that too much, but Hood. There we go. Hood. It was Hood because today was the banks. So Hood, and I'm also gonna put MU, but that's gonna be a little bit late on the list. Today is what 10:14. Cool. All right. So let's get back to this. So Baba, which we are trading below yesterday's action, and we're right back trading in this drop area. Okay, so let's see if there's anything key to identify in this drop area, and I don't really see anything key to identify. I don't want to go ahead and put too many levels all over the place. I made that mistake last week. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna keep this yellow to level though, and the reason why is because if we break below this, this was also a key area as well. So let me make this one purple, because purple to me means a key level on a higher time frame, and I'm gonna confirm that as we go ahead and look through this pre-market activity. So as always, I'm looking for a high volume candle. So let's try to find a high volume candle to mark that level. Because that just shows intraday activity for me. Boom, right? So we have 817,000 shares traded right here on this candle. All right, and let's see, do we have another one? No. And currently we are trading below it for the most part. We did break below that high volume area down here. This is before this was a high volume candle, but nonetheless, we did fall below that. But it seems like we're holding. You see this right here? 1, 2, 3. But this is really like 2 points where we bounced. So it's something to be mindful of. I'm gonna also open up the order book. Let me refresh the order book here. All right, we got some large sellers at. Oh no, this is showing me a video. This is not what I'm looking. It's not what I want to look at. All right, yeah, we got some sellers around 160 on Baba, but we also have buyers at 160.40. So something to be mindful of. All right, so this is Baba. I'm trying to find an assessment, but we're kind of just in this channel to right now. So it's not really much for me to add there. So let's go to the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, Baba's all-time high is at 303. That's Baba's all-time highs, right? And this is where we have been trading on Baba. You see this area? This is where we have been trading on, when it comes to like just looking at the overall picture of Baba. And then we can see in the month of September had a nice ride up to making it to a high, even coming into October to 192.67. But now we got this drop. This is really an indecision candle, but we have sellers that are also in play. So this just leads me to believe that we have more downside movement approaching. It doesn't mean that it will happen, but it just gives like a little idea if we just read the chart for what it is, right? Indecision just means there's a wick in the bottom and a wick at the top. And then we have a body in the middle, so we don't know where we want to go. Versus if you guys look at this previous candle, we got this nice surge up, which buyers are fully in control. The wicks are pretty small. Versus on this candle, the wicks are really long. And then we have a body. So we're unsure coming into the month of October, or in the beginning of October. It's only October 14th. On the weekly, strong sell-off, and then after this strong sell-off, we have this indecision here starting this week, if my cursor could get on that. Yep. So starting this week, we got an indecision, unsure, but strong sell-off, and then, right? I got an alert notifications and alerts. All right. So yeah, we got these white lines. So now we're also trading below this pivot level at 163. So this can lead to, potential, move further down. But like I said last week, is that every dip gets bought back up. For some reason, everybody just keeps buying dips. And I get it. I understand that, we're in this bull market, but it's like, can we get a pullback, a reasonable pullback? And it's like, the market is just struggling to really get a reasonable pullback. It's like we get a pullback, and I don't even know if people are even getting and I'm talking about big money. It's like, do they even got enough time? Like, is there even enough time for them to even add into a position? Like you don't want to buy a stock all the way up here. You at least want a reasonable pullback, but that's personal opinion. Whatever the market wants to do is whatever it wants to do. And then we also have a president who says whatever he wants, and then he goes ahead and moves the market, which is completely insane. That we live in this kind of time, so it's kind of hard to trade around this. You know what I mean? It's like we're not really trading around fully fundamentals, fully technicals. So, but back to the chart, we are trading above under this R3 pivot level. Right here, we can see the activity. So the hope is that maybe we could get a further move down, probably to this key level at 156.69 on the weekly chart. So hopefully we could go ahead and get down there, because I'm looking for a short. But at the end of the day, we can't have too much of a bias, right? We have to just go with whatever the market is telling us is trying to do. So let's continue. All right, so that covers that. Yeah, so we could probably head down. I wanted to see if this level was truly a level that I should have, but I think so too, because if we see here, if we look here on the weekly, right, we got this candle where we surged up, and then we ended up breaking this high and moving higher. So this is a key candle to go ahead and see if we could go ahead and reach today this 156 price area. So it has the possibility, but looking at this wick here and this wick here, we could probably push higher to 162 to even 163. So that's a possibility there. I did like in the after hours though, when we had this drop, that we came all the way down to 153 to 99. So my goal is to see, I don't know if this is going to be today, but to see if Baba could come back, if Baba could fall under this S1, under the 5 minute, and then I can add into this, position, and then we could, I could try to take this down to 154. That would be amazing. But to look at this level too, we have strong bids. We also have a good set of sellers as well. Looking at the order book, we have sellers above. We have sellers at 161.20. We have sellers at also 161, but we have large buyers at 160.60. So we have large buyers like right in this area, right here. There's some large buyers. Now these buyers could easily flip their position and go short. And then if we look right here on the level two, just look at the size, right? We got 2010, 161. So what I'm seeing here, we have consistent selling with consistent size versus versus on this side, we have, heavy buyers who are putting orders in, but it's not consistent. Now let's go on the ladder. We got this 2000, as I mentioned, right? I literally said on the order book, we have buyers at 160, and then you got this 2000 lot size at 160.60. So that shows that we do have some buyers right here. And then we even got some more buyers at 160.20, more buyers at 160. So, we got some orders there. Now we just need to see if that's gonna play a part. If we look at sellers, we don't got any large sellers besides this 1800 lot size at 161.20. So we just have more consistency on the buy side. So this thing could go ahead and go up. We just need to wait till it could. We have to wait till market opens up so it can reflect. All right. So let's go on the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, we are below the 200. We can see that we went ahead and sold off on this Friday, crazy sell-off. Then now we gapped to back up. And you guys can't probably see the full gap up, but you guys can see right here, right? You just go ahead and look at my cursor. We went ahead and gapped up right around here. We got above the 200. And then when we got above this 200, that's my green line. The green line is the 200-day moving average. We're still trending down, though. You can see in the after hours, right, that we got this long wick on the downside, this engulfing candle where we pushed down. We also pushed down some buys. I'm stepped up at this wick, but it's pretty weak. It's pretty weak, and you guys could see that It's just, will this ride continue? We do have, right? We do have like free lane, like right here. There's a lot of free lane because last week, right? Even in the after hours, we came down to this S3 pivot level and bounced. But now, if we see where we're at on this chart, this is just an open lane to get down to 143. I don't know if we're gonna get to 143. That could be. I don't consider it to be a steep pullback after the run up that this thing just had, but to the market that could be a steep pullback. So I don't know, but I think that just looking at the chart, just reading it for what it is, we do have open lane. We could probably get some chop like right here around 150, but I definitely think there is some momentum to get us past this 156.69 level. I definitely think there's momentum there, but we just have to wait and see, as I always say. On the 1 hour chart, and then going back to the 4 hour chart, I'm not really seeing any key levels that I want to add. Not really seeing that. Like normally I like to go ahead and map out or put a level wherever I see like a double top or double bottom. But we've just been riding this trend, and we finally broke this trend and broke the 200. So I think I'm pretty good in terms of adding. I don't want to get too carried away here. Maybe to put a level right here, a target at 152.06, because we can see this pinpoint right on September 12th where the stock literally all the buyers came and then we surged up here. So there's opposite. So I could put a level here as a target, but once again, I don't want to go ahead and do too much. But let me see, right? This 151.24 too. So you know what? Let's put something there as a target for today where maybe, some take profit could happen. So I'm going to go ahead and make this one yellow. If we do fall that far, and that'll be in the zone of this to wick here. So that'll be in the zone. And if we break this one, then we can get to this next level at 146.04. Now that 146.04, right? That comes from here. Right, that comes from here where we went ahead and topped out and then sold off bad, and then this 136.76. If I'm not mistaken, where did I get that level from? I think I got that probably from here, but I might go ahead and delete that one. I don't want too many levels, so let's see how important this 136 is. I probably had this level from previous months ago, because a lot of these stocks I trade before, so I probably had this level already. Yeah, so this 136 it doesn't seem to be relevant at this time, so I'm probably gonna remove it. Trying to see why was this level here. It's definitely here for a reason. And I could see, where I got it from if I check back historical data. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and remove this 136. I don't even think this thing would drop all the way down to 136. So, alrighty. So, 146 is the target. Like I said, I'm not sure if it'll get there, or at least to the 50-day moving average, which is at 153.76. So that's the target. I would like to take this thing to the downside, but as I mentioned earlier, we just saw how to Baba, there was a lot more bids at play. So, all right, sellers are starting to stack up on the Baba. Looking at a book map, which is another form of an order book. I could actually see where the sellers and buyers are. So the orders at 161.20 starting to stack up a bit, but the bids are still in play. So people, as I mentioned, is like a lot of dips get bought back up. So we're gonna see. And then mind you, this was a high volume candle line right here at 160.58, and you can see that we're above here. News wise on Baba, it's not really much news. Orient, Neo, Alibaba Group, and other big stocks moving lower in Tuesday's pre-market. Let's see if there's any news around this, like major news. And I don't think so. I think it's just because Trump, as mentioned, that he put 100% tariff. So we got Baba declined 4% to 160.20 in the pre-market. Shares of U.S. listed Chinese stocks traded lower as new port fees between the two countries take effect. Oh, okay. So new port fees take effect. Yeah, but how important is that? That's gained 100% year to date. Yeah, and there's no other news. So we're gonna see. But this right here, like I said, you see this wick and that wick kind of lets me know that Baba could probably take a ride up and come right back up here. So the market has been really hard to understand in terms of it's just not predictable. You know what I mean? Like it's really not predictable. It's been real all over the place. But I like Baba. I'm definitely gonna watch it on my list today. I think this is something to highlight. So I'm gonna put Baba on my top list though. I feel like there might be something else better to trade since the banks went ahead and reported earnings. So today's earnings was J.P. Morgan. I'm not sure if Wells Fargo, but yeah, the banks went ahead and reported, and I see here from its earnings report that we didn't gap up. We basically just are selling off. I'm not gonna go ahead and trade J.P. Morgan, but it's something to notice there. But with the banks, I'll be looking at Robinhood for sure. I feel like Robinhood would be something good to watch. So let's mark the highs. I'm sorry, 136.52. Sorry, 136.52. Let's mark that. And then yesterday's high was 146.56. And we're trading, I'm pretty sure we're trading below that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and move some of these levels. This yellow level, I'm going to delete that. All right. So let's clean this up a bit. So yesterday's low was 136.52. Okay, we got that. And then we can see here, this is the pre-market area. So let's mark pre-market high, pre-market low. It's 134 flat. Let's try to be as accurate as possible. And then let's find a high volume candle. All right. The highest volume I see here is 374 on this candle, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go ahead and double check. Yep, it's 374 right at this candle. And we're trading below there. We also are trading a little bit outside of yesterday's range, so we want to see if we can continue outside of yesterday's range. The stock did come back into yesterday's range slightly, but we are under the 200. So this leads me to believe that we could probably have a short run on Robinhood today. Let's go ahead and check the order book. Oof, okay. On the order book, that's pretty tight. On the order book, we are in between buyers and sellers right now. We have a lot of sellers. We also have a lot of buyers as well. Size wise, there's a lot. It's pretty even. It's smack dead even. But we can see here on this order book on the Webull platform that sellers are in control. They're a lot more heavier here, but we do have some heavy orders of buyers right here at 2,000 lot size. So very interesting. I think Robinhood is going to be very, very interesting today. I'll keep my eye on this for sure. For sure. I think Robinhood is going to be good. There's no major catalyst. The only thing is that bank stocks did go ahead and report earnings. And Robinhood is not a bank, but it's still in the financials. So, it could play a part today. And if I was to look here, let's see industries that are making the biggest moves. Yeah, that is Broadcom, Tesla. Okay, so that's just industries. And a little bit of financials are in here as well. So let's get back to this. All right, yeah. So I definitely like Robinhood. It's a crazy order book, but there's a lot of sellers though too at the same time. It's definitely a lot of sellers. So let these stocks do its thing, and then let's see. I have a key level here at 130.06. This key level is here because this was a previous all-time high. Then the stock went ahead and surged and broke through here and went higher. So that's a level to highlight if we do continue to fall, or if we do fall. Hence that we are, kind of trading a little bit out the range, but technically we're trading within yesterday's range because we're within the blue line. But if we do fall and even get under 135.54, I think it's a good ride down to potentially 130.06. If you want to go ahead and short that thing, I definitely think there's a possibility there. So that's good. I like what I'm seeing here on the daily. I don't see any other key levels I want to highlight on the daily chart. On the monthly, strong candle, all-time highs, and then now, starting to reverse a little bit. I don't think this reversal on the downside is going to be for a long time. I think it's just going to be for a period of time for people to go ahead and load the boat again. So people are predicting a market crash and all of that. Hey, that's not any of your concern if you're a day trader. If you're an investor, yes, that is a concern. If you're a day trader, it's not your concern. Don't even try to predict the market to that extent. We're just in the market, as I always say, to just trade for the moment. You know what I mean? Just trade for the moment and get out, and don't over leverage yourself. You got people who are, putting their, retirement, 401k, their whole entire account in one position. And that's not what you want to do. So let's go back to Robinhood. The assessment here: strong sell-off to start the week of 10:10, and then after that we are currently in 10:13. Kind of a little bit of an indecision, but I think we could probably get a continuation, or right. This thing could just go ahead and come down. Buyers could step up today and push this thing right back up. So there's a possibility there. But we know that the sellers are in play, period, just because of these two candles on the weekly. And now if I was to go on the 4-hour chart, let's see how the 4-hour chart is looking. We're still trading above the 200, which is bullish. So this is still bullish. But we did cross over the 9 and 20 and 50-day moving average. So here's the thing. This stock at some point is going to try to reach this 200-day moving average. It's going to try to reach this zone a little bit more. We're going to try to get a little bit more into 130-ish price range. We're going to try to get down there a little bit. How we're going to get down there, we never know. We just have to go ahead and watch and see how things play out. There's no catalyst, but as I mentioned, the banks are in play, so this can be related. This can be a sympathy play, depending on what happens in today's market. So this would be another stock I'll be watching. I don't see anything key that I need to highlight because we're basically trading around all-time high levels. So the goal is honestly to take Robinhood into this S1 and S2 level, right? To take it into these bracketed areas, because pivot levels is that R1 and R2, all of that just means that it's just higher bullish levels. But the fact that we cross these moving averages, the goal is to get into these S levels. So definitely Robinhood will be on my list today. I'll be watching out for that on the 1 hour. Don't really see anything I want to highlight here that's key. I might want to, if we do break pre-market low, I'm going to highlight this 133 level though. And let me see if there was a better level to highlight. No, it wasn't a better level to highlight on the 4 hour. So let's go on the 1 hour. Let's put a yellow level here, and that could be an area to take some profit off, depending on how much size I go in. And if we break that level, that will give me an inclination that we could probably head lower and get to this 130 area. Alrighty. See, 15-minute chart. Yeah, see, and on the 15-minute, we're kind of hugging this S1 a little bit, so we got to break this. But I'm not gonna stress the 15-minute chart because it's still within the pre-market range. I'm just not gonna stress that. I'll peek at the 15-minute when the market opens from time to time. All right. So Robinhood, let's go back to Baba quickly because I didn't check the 15-minute. And you see how I said this buyers at this 160. Stock is coming right back up, and then just look at this pinpoint right here. We just bounced twice. I'm gonna see. On the 1 hour, we're still trending downward On the 4 hour, we're definitely trending downward now because this was resistance. So I'd like to take it to my goal, but we gonna see. All right. All right, we're gonna put hood here. And honestly, I really do like hood, man. I like hood because just look at it's just you see this. This is free lane. This is just free lane right now. Trading below, even though we got levels here, but this is just an open lane on the 2 minute. It's not an open lane on the 5 minute. We just need some confirmation. But this is an open lane to 134. And then we break 134. I really do like to Robinhood right now, especially on the order book. It's red. All I see is red. So I definitely want to take advantage of that today, if I can, if it provides an opportunity. Right. Let's see. What else did I want to watch today? It was Tesla and AVGO. So let's go to AVGO first. So AVGO Broadcom could definitely go ahead and make a move for sure. Let's see Tesla's pre-market. Tesla, I've been trying to. I think Tesla's gonna get back in the 300s. Honestly, I really do. I really do think that. But there's a lot of. I also think Tesla could also go ahead and I'm gonna draw a trend line. I also think Tesla could just give a complex uh, way down. See, like we look at Tesla, just look at this right here. I just drew a trend line, and the thing about Tesla is that Tesla is always gonna try to make its way higher. It's just always gonna try that, and we're just kind of in this trend. We sold off, and then like we kind of bouncing from here. We got support at S1. Tesla could be a tricky one, to be honest with you guys. Tesla could be a tricky one. So it's really between Tesla and Broadcom that and honestly I'm gonna go with what has news, right? So Nvidia stock slips as U.S. China tensions and Broadcom's OpenAI deal weigh on AI giant. Okay. So let me look at Nvidia today. Nvidia actually has a little bit of a news. Oracle Cloud to deploy 50,000 AMD chips, challenging AMD's dominance. So semiconductors is definitely something to play today. And AMD, out of everything, is the one that's gapped up. Like that's the only semiconductor that's in the green. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting to me. I like to trade things that are a little bit contrarian to what's going on. Yeah. So I'm gonna look at AMD more so. I'm not gonna look at Nvidia. Nvidia doesn't really trade the best anyway. Because just look at the ATR, right? 183 to 185, and that's just like the range, right? Then we got AMD went from basically 208 to 223. I like that range. Tesla went from 422 to 426, $4 move with no news. Broadcom is going from 341 to 351. Well, that's pretty nice. But still, not really any news. 344 to 350. So it's between Broadcom and AMD. So this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and go to the order book. Let's look at AMD. AMD has no sellers, just buyers. And the buyers are at 217. Okay. AVGO. It's not really much going on for AVGO either. I think AMD would give a better move though. Yeah, so let's map out AMD. Because AMD is gonna give a better move. It's not going to be Broadcom could give a good move too though. So yesterday's low on AMD is 214.90. Pre-market high is right here. Pre-market low is 208.60. Fine. We're gonna find a high volume candle soon. Yesterday's high on AMD was 224.19. Okay, we got that. High volume candle should easily be able to find 1 million shares traded on one candle in the pre-market. There we go. Right there. Of course, it's going to be that large candle right there. Cool. All right. AMD is starting to roll over on the 9. We're also and then it's also at a key level at this breakout right here. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this purple line to right here because this is where we broke out from and got to newer highs, and then we got a pivot level below it. Monthly, strong, but has a wick right there. Indecision starting to turn around a little bit on the weekly chart, 4-hour chart. Let's see. And is this also trading within the range? This is also, why does this chart even look like this right now? Okay. This is also trading within yesterday's range too. Okay. All right, 4-hour chart. See right here, trading within yesterday's range as of right now. It did get below yesterday's range, but still holding. Okay. You got sellers at 224. We got heavy sellers at 224. So price could run up to 224 today. We're gonna give all of this some time at market open. We got 4 minutes to market open. Okay, where's price? Price is up here. This was a resistance point. We could probably hold this key level at 218.93 and push higher all the way to 224 to those sellers because there's heavy sellers at 224. Okay. And this is what you guys have to do in the pre-market. You guys have to go ahead and map things out. Have to. You have to, because this is where you make your money. You don't make your money just trading and clicking a button. You make your money from preparation. So that's what I'm doing right now. So we can see on the 1 hour, but let's go back to the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart, it did roll over, but we're starting to like kind of get above that on the 4-hour. We're pushing, but we are facing some rejection. You can see all the selling that took place right around here. So we got to watch out for that. And then on the 1-hour chart, we're still holding on to the 200, similar to what we're doing on the 4-hour chart. So we're holding on to this 200. We did go ahead and double bottom a little bit right here and right here. And then we went ahead and moved higher. But there is some resistance. I do think we could possibly break and go up to 227. There is a possibility for that, but it all depends what the market would like to do today. And then after that, yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that's key or really pressing. This thing can go either way, but there is some resistance. It can knock its head up here, so it probably would be good to wait a little bit till we get up here and then short it. You know what I mean? That probably would be the best move on AMD. So AMD is gonna go on my side screen list. If I want to trade it, I trade it, and then SPY. Yeah, we're just gonna watch the SPY. The SPY doesn't really know what it wants to do either. So let me go ahead and map out levels on the SPY real quick. I'm not going to trade the SPY, but I am mapping it out so I can get a read on what's happening in the markets. And the SPY is trading outside of yesterday's range. But like I said, every dip gets bought back up. So, and sometimes it could be simple, right? Oh yeah, just buy the dip. It's not that simple. I really wish it was. It's not that simple though, guys. Alrighty, so we're looking at Baba, Robinhood, and AMD for today. I'm gonna look at Hood on the order book. Let me copy this. Market's gonna open up in just 20 seconds. Market is opened. Right now I'm looking at Robinhood. Gonna give it some time. Baba has buys at 159. Crazy. Oh, that's yesterday. So look it up to Robinhood. Gonna give the market some time to get itself together. AMD's about to pop. I'm not gonna take that trade. Yep, I like Robinhood. But there's a level right here, so I need to wait to see what's gonna happen at this level. I have to wait. AMD looks solid, but I'm gonna wait. Buyers are stepping up on the Baba right now at 160. There's sellers on AMD as well. I like what I'm seeing on Robinhood. It's just we don't know if this is going to be support, so that's why I'm not jumping in for a short on that just yet. AMD's selling off. Yeah, and you see Baba just to went ahead and surged. Yep, told you there was to buy is right there the whole entire time. Told you every dip gets bought back up. Can't trust any of these sell-offs, man. Can't trust it. All about being patient. All about being patient, man. I'm waiting for Robinhood to break this pivot level, if it is gonna break it. Like I said, we got open lane here to 134. I just don't want to go ahead and jump in too soon. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to add into this. I was a bit aggressive on this one. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm in on 5 contracts right now on Robinhood, and I did that because the ask jumped right into the bid. That's exactly why I got in there like that. Right now, I'm looking at the level 2. Nice. It's getting right to my level. It's getting right to my target. I'm trying to take it to at least $5. Nice. Okay, let's sell some if I could find how much I want to sell. So, all right, let me relax. Trying to see if we could break pre-market low. It's probably going to bounce right from pre-market low. Yeah. Let's look at the daily. I have a level here at 133. Yeah, there's buyers at 133. I'm going to have to try to hold this to 133. I'm going to try. You see when I said that there's an open lane right here? It was just an open lane. I'm trying to take this down to 133 at least. It got to 133.87. And then I want this ask to continue to come to this bid. Hold on to your winners. We got large buyers at 130 as well. Let me go ahead and switch over. Yep. See, I have a level right there. That's where I want to start to probably go ahead and take some profit. Right there at 133 flat. Let's go on the 1 hour chart. Yep, because we got a level right here at 133. So I want to take it right there at least. At least get me there. Take some profit off. You know, the hardest thing to do is to relax in some of these positions because it's just like you're so eager to take money off the table. But you gotta let your winners just go ahead and do his thing. This is a 3 bar play strategy. We got 2 bars. Now I'm waiting for a third bar. Yep. It's starting. It's not giving me what I want. It's really not giving me what I want right now. And we also even got a level. Oh, it's getting there. It's getting there. But buyers keep stepping up though. Yeah, the buyers they just keep stepping up. Literally got there a little bit. I'm trying to take it to 133 flat, but yeah, buyers are stepping up. So I said every freaking dip. Every freaking dip. So hard sometimes. Damn. Damn. This thing's coming back against me. Wow. Still under VWAP. Yeah, this thing's probably gonna come back up. It got close to that level. Oh my gosh. It gave me a little test. Like it gave me a little taste and just came back up. Probably was too slow. Not gonna lie. It was too slow. Yeah, I was too slow. Just trying to make the most out of my trades, man. We still got a large order at 130 though. It's literally a large order at 130. It's the only reason why I'm holding on to this. But every time we break pre-market low, that I've noticed like within a day with almost any ticker I've traded, is like once we get back into the pre-market range, it's so hard for it to go ahead and continue to break out of that range. Trying to give this thing some time, trying to take it to at least 130, 133, to then take profit out from that level. So I'm trying to hold it. See, we even got this 200. I'm trying to take it down to the 200. We're getting close. I'm gonna closely watch. Let me cancel this order right here. Then I got a target right here at 6. But yeah, you see how that thing just went ahead and bounced. Yeah, I'm gonna probably take off some profit, you guys, because this thing is not selling off the way I want it to sell off. Yeah, we just fell, and there's no continuation. 5 minutes still look pretty good, but the buys are stepping up again. Okay. The ask is coming into the bid a little bit. Okay. Okay, sellers is coming into the bid a little bit more. Bids is dropping, but I need the ask to get in there a little bit more. Holding on to 85, 75, good. Yeah. See, I need this 2 minute to go ahead and do its thing. And by 2 minutes, I'm looking at this chart. I need this 2 minute to give this little extra little love down there to 133. Just give me a little bit more love. That's all I'm asking for. Give me a little bit more love down there. Trying to see if we could break pre-market low. Strong 5 minute candle. We got another 5 minute candle coming. I'm gonna wait for this one. It's just about 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Still got a large bid at 130. Nice. Okay, we just broke pre-market low. Now can the ass get? Yeah, there we go. Come on. We just broke pre-market low. I mean the latest low. Oh my freaking goodness. Take some off. This thing looks weak, but it's just not. It's not doing what I want it to do. Shit. Yep. It's not doing whatever I want it to do. It's like we're getting there, but we're not getting there. So 2 contracts. Trying to see if we could get below 133, but like I said, this thing is not. It's not doing it. Man, maybe I'm being a bit stubborn. But it looks weak though. Yeah. I'm so hungry. My stomach is over here growling. Yeah, see, when we broke the first low at 133.49, this thing needed to continue. And the fact that we didn't continue is a problem to me. That's a problem. It's not even about being patient. It's just it should have did it. It should have continued to drop like right there. Like, that's a problem. I like the fact that we're still under VWAP, so it's still weak. Maybe I could come in with the ad soon. Let me see something. Still got that large buy at 130 on hood. You see how hood is below the 20, so this thing is it looks good for a continued down move. It does. Nice. Yeah, but this thing just continues to be bought back up right here for some odd reason. Nice. Sell one. Got two contracts left. Probably gonna sell another one. I love the daily candle. You see this daily chart in this box? That's the daily. And we got a key level at 130.60. There we go. This thing just doesn't want to give it up. Damn. I said it does not want to give it up. Got one contract left. So far, I realized on the day 241. So I'm gonna hold on to this last contract. Yeah, it's just holding on to that to level right there. Yeah, so I'm practically done for the day. I'm watching on Baba though. It's either I'm going to sell all of this today, or I'm gonna try to swing the rest into tomorrow for another drop. But I'm not really seeing that on Baba right now. Okay, yep, and I'm gonna get all out of Robin Hood in just a few minutes. I'm about to get it. I'm about to get everything out of here. Because we just held on to this. It's like we got there, but we've just been holding on. So I'm getting ready to get out. Another 2 minute candle came. We got a strong 5 minute candle at that. Yeah, get me out. Yeah, I'm all out. So today I realized what 229. It's not bad. I just don't like how the Robin Hood is falling. Yeah, Baba has nothing but buys. But the Baba seems like it's probably gonna get to 163. This is what I'm talking about. It's like every dip. It's like even though we fell in the after hours, but every dip on this thing just continues to ramp right back up. And you see why I got out of hood? Yeah, this is exactly why I got out. We just kept holding this area. It's like we fell, but we just kept holding and holding and holding. And that's why I put that yellow level there. I put that there because that was a level on the 1 hour chart. And what it did was it bounced right off of that 1 hour level. It couldn't break it. It probably still it probably still gets to 130, but whatever. Right, so the main focus right now is Baba. That's the main focus. But Baba's probably gonna get to freaking 163. The way Baba is looking, it doesn't look weak. It doesn't look weak whatsoever. Yeah, just look at that. So now look at Robin Hood. This would have probably been a good ad, like right off of this up to VWAP, a retest to then probably still come back down. But let's get some more confirmation on that. I would honestly like to add into Baba a little bit more. That's really what I'm that's really what I'm waiting for. I probably won't get back into hood. Maybe, maybe not. Sellers are starting to creep up on us Baba right now. We still got a large bid though. At 157. The question is Baba gonna try to get to those buyers at, at 157 and at 160? That's the $1 million question. I'm glad I didn't trade AMD because AMD didn't do jack shit. So I'm glad I didn't trade that. Sometimes you gotta stay away from the common stocks like the Nvidias, the AMDs, the Teslas. It's overcrowded. It's just overcrowded trades. So sometimes they could get stuck in the range. Like I'm gonna pull up AMD, and there was just no movement on AMD, like none at all. We had this one little drop, and then it's just kind of a little choppy. Just look at the 5 minute chart. I'll give a better example. Just look at that Wix. It's just not. It's just no movement there. Right now, the best stocks to trade could be the financial sector. It's probably the best stocks to trade right now. Still watching Baba. I'd like to add into this, but I would like to add if we could break the VWAP. That's what I like to add. I like what I'm seeing here on the 2 minute though. I do like what I'm seeing, but I don't know if this is gonna be support. Sellers are stepping up on Baba. Nice. I see that on the order book. I want to see this ask come into the bid a little bit more. But we got to break VWAP. So I'm going to go ahead and let that rock out. I just wanted to show you guys how AMD looks. Let's see how Tesla traded today. Tesla had a nice drop. Damn, Tesla was nice. Tesla had a nice drop, and it got to my level, to that 418 level. Did I map out Tesla? No, I didn't. Oh, this is a level from a previous day. Okay, cool. That's Tesla. Let's see what Nvidia did today. Nvidia had one. Nvidia was nice. It gave a nice drop to 179. Nvidia was really nice. Could have traded this one too. So that's Nvidia. What about AVGO? I know I mapped that one out. AVGO was. It was nice too. Give a nice little drop. Let's go back to Hood. Hood is starting to creep up. I guess the sell-off wasn't going to last that long. I want to add into Baba, but you gotta be careful with ads, as I mentioned before. Sometimes they could go ahead and mess up your whole entire account. Well, I felt like I was just extra when I said your entire account. It's not gonna mess up your entire account, but it can just to mess up just where you're at. I want this to break via. Honestly, I want this thing to lose all of this. I want Baba to lose the VWAP, lose the moving averages, and I feel better to add at like after that point. But for right now, I can't add. I want my 160 put to turn green. That's what I really wanted. Cause my 160 put, it says 193, but I'll show you guys my position. I'm really at 370, and then 152. So my open P and L is 210. But things are starting to take a reverse move. When you want stocks to go down. Yeah, you see how we got this gap down? So that's basically dead. We got this gap down, and we're under this key pivot level on the daily chart. So it's pretty weak. It's pretty freaking weak, man. The one thing I do love to do, I love shorting Chinese stocks. Can't lie, love shorting these things. All right, guys, I'm about to go ahead and jump off stream. I mentioned that earlier that I'm gonna jump off early. I got to do some things for work, but so far today I realized $229. So that's nice. I think I lost $80 yesterday. So I made that back, and then I got this position here on a Baba. This did not look good to yesterday because of the gap up, and then we got back down. So a part of me wants to hold this until tomorrow, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if I'm going to hold this till tomorrow because I don't know what the freak is going to happen. It's really hard to swing this stock market. Normally, I do not want to do any swing trades, but this was just a swing trade that I had to take. I just saw the setup, and the setup was nice, so I had to go ahead and take this move. So the goal for me is to go ahead and take this trade all the way down to at least 150. And that would be a nice return if I could get it down to 150, either by today or by the end of this week. I do not want to hold this to next week. I have this option now to next week, so I don't want to hold it to next week. But I would love to at least get out of this position today or tomorrow. So I'm gonna see if I'm gonna hold it. I'm not really sure. If I am gonna go ahead and add to this position for a further down move, I want I want heavy volume to kick in, and I wanted to break the VWAP. I wanted to break all of these moving averages I have right here. Just show me something that is willing to go ahead and sell off, and then I go ahead and jump in, and add a little bit more, and then we could probably turn this, 216 to maybe $500-$600. So that's the goal. Price target on this one that I'm trying to take it to is about 156 for sure. For sure, I want to take it to 156. When I look here on the order book, there's buyers, there's heavy buyers at 157. So I'm like, let's get there, man. Let's go ahead and meet those buyers at 157. But I don't control the market. I do not control it. Controller. Controller. But looking at this 4 hour chart, man, I really do think we could go ahead and continue a sell off and test this area at 157. I really do think so. So just have to wait and see. Just have to wait and see. In terms of adding, this seems I'm very tempted to add right now. Very, very tempted. Very tempted. I don't think right now is the time though. I don't think so. I don't think right now is the time, but the time is approaching. Time is approaching for an ad, and it's a good thing I got out of Robinhood because look what Robinhood is doing. I probably could have flipped my position, but it's so hard to think one way, like to think short, and then transition to being a long trader. That's not easy. That's pretty hard to do. So that's cool. Something told me to flip my position though. Not gonna lie. Something told me to get out, flip it, and I probably could have made another $100, another like either 100 or 150 off of this move, but I didn't want to go ahead and trick my psychology. So my hope is that AMD. My hope is that the Baba could stay under this 200 moving average. We could break a VWAP. We could go ahead and break these moving averages and head lower, get down to 160, and just freaking sell off. I'm shorted. That's the reason why I'm saying that I want this thing to fall because I'm shorted. But that's my hope. Not sure if that's gonna happen at all. But when I take a look at the order book, is that we have buyers at 161 flats. We still got this buyer here at 157 that's waiting to be filled. So, I'm gonna wait up until we get there. But at the same time, I'm not really sure if we're gonna get there. The only way, like I said, I want to add, but I have this orange level here at 160.58. Then we're here, so it's like this thing could literally bounce from here. It could literally just bounce and go back up and hit this 163. We did get some strong rejection right here and sold off, so that's pretty nice. But I just don't want to get caught. And you see how we're in this channel, so we fell back into the channel of S1 and this key level that I found, which was a high volume candle that I found in the pre-market. So now that we're in this channel, I don't want to go ahead and add in here. Like I said, I needed to lose every little piece of this, maybe show some strength like within here and then break. Lovely, I add. But in the midst of this, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna sit there and do that. Not gonna sit there and do that. I would definitely want the buy orders to get filled. I'm using my 2 minute to give me an entry. So if we get one nice, it's crazy. You see how yeah, like I have no reason to sell, and I'm gonna tell you why, guys. The reason why I have no reason to sell and get out of this position just yet, you see these buyers, they just got trapped within these shorts. See how we got red lights. We got 5 red candles and only two white candles so far. They're getting trapped on the 5 minute. When we look here on this 2 minute chart, there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just in this setup alone, we got on the 2 minute. It seems like the buyers have a little bit more control in a way, but the 5 minute is just showing just clear evidence that the sellers are trying to trap the buyers, trying to. But this is why I don't want to add yet, because somebody with some deep pockets could come in and just move the markets. So just gonna go ahead and let that rock out. But overall, today's a good day. I'm just gonna need to go ahead and run out of this position today or tomorrow. I like the gap down. Like I said, I would love if this thing could get to the buyers at 157. I would love that. I feel like I should hold it till tomorrow, but a little nervous. A little nervous about that because yesterday's gap up was freaking nuts. So I just don't want to be greedy. I just don't want to be greedy. Because if I made 220, 229 realized and I got 223 open P&L, that's $400. You know what I mean? And that's just, within today. So it's just like, do you really want to push that gas to make an extra, I don't know, 600? Well, extra 600 plus 200 is that's $800. So, yeah, I kind of do want that 600, but. Mm. I kind of wanted to jump into to Robinhood. Not gonna lie, to get back in yesterday's range. This looks nice. Like this looks really nice. We got this nice engulfing candle on the 5 minute. This looks nice, 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 nice. I like this. A part of me is thinking about getting in at this 136 call. Let me see if this is something I should do. But I'm only gonna get like I'm only gonna get like a 50 cent ride on this. Yeah, no. Yeah, nah, cause it already made a good run. Like right around here was a great run, so I'm good. Tempting, but no. What I don't like about the Baba right now is kind of getting above this S1 channel versus what I would like is it to get below this high volume level at 160.58. I would like this more so. And it's not that it can't go ahead and get there. We're still trading under the 200 on the 5 minute chart. We're still trading under VWAP. I mean, under the 50-day moving average on the 15 minute. Let's see. There's a lot of reasons why this thing could still go lower. But at the same time, this is a buyer's market. It's not really a seller's market. And and I hate to say this, but I'm more so of a seller than I am a buyer. I like to short. It's just how it works for me. I just like to short. It's easier for me to read that than it's easier for me to go ahead and go long. It's just easier. But I'm up out of here, guys. Like I said, tomorrow I should be on stream a little bit to longer. But once again, today is so far a good day. $229 realized. I have an open P&L of 200. So we're gonna see if we can make more, lose this, or lose completely. Man, we're gonna see how this works out for your boy. But I'm out of here, guys. I gotta get to the day job. Peace and love. Catch ya.